Sand angels. She loves this. Your face! You are ridiculous.
Welcome to New Mexico. So we leave Arizona near Deming, camp on some BLM land, then we head north and found a hot springs called Faywood Hot Springs in the middle of nowhere. And we went to visit Alamogordo and saw White Sands National Park. And then we headed south to Carlsbad Caverns National Park to finish out New Mexico. Well, it's rainy, but a good way to start out New Mexico. Camping on some BLM tonight, right at the Arizona-New Mexico border. He likes this. This cow likes hearing his echo. Is that what? All right, not technically in New Mexico, but this is the start of the New Mexico video. So I finished the Arizona video last night, but we ended up staying one more night in Arizona right on the border. A place called Indian Bread Recreation Area. Pretty cool, BLM land, lots of rocks to go exploring, plenty of spots, but we got rained on quite a bit last night. We're going to drive about 2.5 hours today and go check out some hot springs. So looking forward to some hot springs for a couple days.
High clouds drifting away, leaving no shadows under. First step out of the maze, follow the path and wander. And we go.
All right, we've arrived at Faywood Hot Springs. We are parked in a tiny little campsite that's just big enough for our van.
It's supposed to be a tent site.
Yeah, it's a tent site, but we don't need an RV site since we have the new power system, so don't need hookups. That saves us a little bit of money. I think we paid $75 for 2 nights, and that's 24/7 access to the soaking pools. They give a 20% discount to veterans, military, and first responders, so pretty good deal.
Steady, not in a rush, letting the future unfold. Always anchored in trust.
I know it's windy, but we just finished about a 2-hour soak. Pretty nice hot springs for the price. We started out in the clothing section and got annoyed really quick with some kids. So then we went to the other clothing optional hiking up to this little spot above the resort behind us. And I'm gonna catch the sunset and then cook dinner and go back to the springs.
Did you do the information about?
Yeah, I did earlier. So they call this the star chair.
Look back, all fears run clear, living with no regret, scale high in stride, we don't have to look back.
Pulled the chicken off the BioLite. Let's see. I thought it was going to be burnt, but I think it's going to be pretty good. Oh yeah, that's juicy. Look at that. Good stuff. We're at City of Rocks State Park. We're gonna do a quick hike with the dogs. Had a nice soak this morning at the hot springs. Well, if we weren't staying at the hot springs, I'd say this is a pretty nice campground. It's only 10 bucks a night for a state park, which is pretty good. Leaving the springs, pretty good experience here.
Excellent. We could have stayed a bit longer.
Yep, nice soaking pools. Met someone named Beth, chatted with her for like an hour and a half last night. Today we are pressing on towards White Sands and actually going to stay on the property of a guy. He was my piss mate. So one of the first guys I met when I joined the Air Force in Germany, and we shared a bathroom. He has a 4-acre plot near Alamogordo, and he's letting us park, and it'll be cool reconnecting with him. Just heard from my buddy. He's at his property a couple miles away from Holloman Air Force Base, so heading there now to meet him. He's gonna let us park on his land for the night. I had a good night catching up with my buddy Ryan, who let us stay on his property. Nice little spot right outside of Alamogordo. We are getting ready to go to White Sands National Park, check that out. And I think I'm gonna go to Holloman Air Force Base and park somewhere and try to get this air compressor reconnected, because we are going to need it for when we get to Big Bend National Park and go off-roading. This is the third attempt to reconnect the air compressor. I think I did it right this time. The problem was, it started out with I connected a brown wire under black sheathing because I thought it was the ground, but chased it back and it was red and yellow under the hood. So I don't know what they did when they hooked it up. Maybe they ran out of wire and just used a different color, but I think we're good. I'm about to give it a shot. That's a good sound. That was some good footage. I almost hit you in the face.
I'd pay money to do that.
head back.
Knock out your teeth.
Obviously not hooking it up right. There we go. Well, extremely frustrating. Got it wired up. It started, as you saw, but for whatever reason, it's not building up enough pressure for air to come out the hose. So back to square one. I have no idea what is causing it to fail. I'm hoping maybe if we drive around a bit, maybe it's battery related and the battery's just too low, but we'll see. Not too bright. She thinks this is snow and she's trying to eat it. Trying to find a place to sled. This should be fun. Everywhere we go, and it does not matter where.
Grass, mud, dirt, sand, snow.
Fuller, come on, train.
I think you need to hold her because I want to run her over.
Come on, try it. She's gonna go by herself. Train, pull! Pull her! Yeah, train! Go! Yeah! That looks like a bigger hill over there we're gonna check out. The sand here is way finer than the dunes in Colorado. Much more soft, but not as high.
Oh, look, that's a nice one right here.
Later, dudes.
Sand angels. She loves this. Your face. You are ridiculous. National Park, and we're headed towards Carlsbad National Park, looking for some BLM to camp on for the night.
On a night like this, and a dress like that, how could I wanna be anywhere else? Got a heart of gold and a soul to match. Can measure this moment in a photograph. You look so beautiful.
Just got to camp. We're about 6 miles away from Carlsbad Caverns on some BLM land. Pretty bare landscape.
Not too shabby.
And we're just on the edge of that storm right there. Carlsbad Caverns National Park. They have kennels here, so we can go explore the caverns without the pups. So we're gonna go drop them off in the kennel. Finished the caverns. Here picking up the dogs. What'd you think?
It is now my favorite. It is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, everywhere you look, just amazing.
It's a pretty big cave. I don't know what the biggest cave out there in the world is, but there can't be many that big.
80 stories down, they said?
Yeah, so be prepared if you're doing the natural entrance to just walk a lot of downhill. He said 80 stories down and then only 5 up. The whole thing, if you walk the whole thing, it's about 2.5 miles.
We moved fast, so it was under an hour and a half.
Yeah. And go early. We went early. There's a lot of people here now, but it wasn't crowded at all for us.
Yeah, I was making sure.
Let's go see.
I haven't more since then.
Hi, baby.
Hi guys. Ready to go bye-bye? They're laying down. Okay, we're coming. We're good doggies. But that's gonna be it for New Mexico, because we're heading to Guadalupe National Park and getting out of this state in a little bit. So happy trails.
And catch you in the next one.